there are people out there that are making courageous steps towards bringing down people that need to be brought down. Even if it's the biggest risk of your career or it's a big risk to your life, there are heroes out there that are doing that. And I think that could really encourage someone else to speak up and to do their part.
I really enjoyed this film. I thought you guys did a fantastic job with it. And I just wanted to start, by asking, did you first hear about these events when you were reading the script and getting involved in the movie?
Yes. I was, embarrassingly completely ignorant of this story. I didn't know anything about it. I read the script. I didn't even know when I read the script that it was a true story. I thought it was a, made up story. And then I realized I found out it was true. And that was really intriguing and shocking and horrifying. And began, our journey into this project and really learning a lot more about it.
Yeah. And same with me. I had no clue. I'd found out when I got the material, and I'd never heard of Charles Cullen or anybody involved in this. I didn't know the story. But, once you get the material and you see how horrifying it is and you find out that it is a real story, then you feel like you owe it to the real people to tell this story in the right way.
Yeah. So since this is real, how much research did you kind of both end up doing into this situation? Because you play the cops who are trying to help Amy crack this case.
I just wanted to add, I just thought of this because it's interesting, that none of us have heard of this story. It's the most it's the worst serial killer in American history. We're a serial killer obsessed country. We tell tons of serial killer stories all the time. Everyone reads about it all the time. And yet no one knows this story. And it makes you wonder why. Why is it?
I've never heard it myself.
A story with a serial killer who was institutionally protected for many years. I wonder why this story never got told. It's just an interesting thing to think about. And all the more grateful that we're telling it now. And now segueing into the other question about, research. There's the book, The Good Nurse, that is the Bible for this story. It was really thoroughly researched, written beautifully, and it has all the story in it. So we read that book, and that was our real kind of Bible for the story. And then we were able, fortunately, to meet the people that we played, Danny Baldwin and Tim Braun, who were incredibly generous with their time and energy and spirit, and were supportive and generous and gracious, and gave us the wind in our sails to go forward.
Now that you are getting a chance to tell the story, then what are you hoping that the audience is going to take away, either, from the characters, the real people, the events at the hospital?
Yeah, that's interesting. Noah always says something, you'll get out of it what you bring into it, or something along those lines. Everyone comes into a film with their own bias and their own thoughts, and that's what they get out of the film. I think for me, I just want them to see that there are people out there that are making courageous steps towards bringing down people that need to be brought down. Even if it's the biggest risk of your career or it's a big risk to your life, there are heroes out there that are doing that. And I think that could really encourage someone else to speak up and to do their part.
All right. Well, I am going to have to wrap, but thank you guys so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.